it's Ray with Cooking with Pennies, and today we are going to make sun-dried tomato burgers. And the recipe does call for an indoor grill, so I do have that, and it is getting nice and hot, getting ready. And the ingredients are pretty basic, and it seems like we're gonna have a pretty basic recipe, but it's with a whole bunch of flavor, right? So again, because I have a family of 7, I need to double these recipes. So obviously, if you don't have 7 people, or if you just want leftovers, you're not going to use as much as I do, which also means that your costs will be less than what I'm showing you that I'm paying for my family. So we need 1 pound of ground beef, and I really like to use this organic grass-fed ground beef. For 1 pound is about $5.98, and I feel like if I'm gonna do something like this, I'd rather take that cost from the rest of my ingredients and put it into a really good quality beef. So I am doing 2 pounds of beef. Yum. It's also calling for a tablespoon of finely chopped oil-packed sun-dried tomatoes. So I have about 2.5 tablespoons, just because I really like sun-dried tomato. It's also calling for 1 teaspoon of finely shredded lime or lemon, and I did lime and lemon because we really like citrus here, and I'll probably add some lemon and lime juice to the recipe as well. It's also calling for ½ teaspoon of salt and a ½ teaspoon of black pepper. And then for this, so that's just for that. Then for the spread, we are going to do a quarter cup of light mayonnaise dressing. This is the Hellmann's vegan mayonnaise, which I actually really like. It's nice and smooth, it has really good texture to it. Basil, so this is freshly chopped basil, and 1 jalapeno, and I accidentally licked my finger and it's very spicy, so I know that I'll have some complaints, so I'm only doing half, and then I'll roast the other one and give it to my husband and he can put it on top of his burger. Then I have this burger press here. I've never used it before, so it will be a first for everything. And it has a 1/3 pound burger, ½ pound burger, and a ¼ pound burger, as you can see on there. And don't mind my boo-boo. And it has the thing that indents on the top of the beef. So let's get everything put into our bowl. Let's start forming and see how this turns out. This is my first. All right, so here we go. We are adding the sun-dried tomatoes, and then we are adding the citrus blend that I had made earlier. And as I said, we were really big fans of citrus blends. However, the children didn't really like the abundance of orange and lemon in this recipe. So maybe next time if I make it, I probably would just pick one and not go a little bit as crazy. Now it's time to blend. Make sure you blend it in really, really well. You want to, you know, I really love this meat. There's no moisture to it, like extra water or anything like that. It feels very clean. It's just a really awesome feeling meat, if that made any sense. It's an awesome feeling meat. So as I said, this is my first time filling up this burger press thing. I've had this thing literally for like 3 years, and I've never ever used it. It's always so much easier to do like veggie patties or just to buy everything at Costco like we normally do. So here I am just trying to figure out how to press this darn thing, and as I was getting used to it, it was a lot easier, of course, but trying to make sure to proportion everything properly, especially when I have some children that really are, you know, they're picky, but they're like, it's kind of difficult. I was trying to make smaller patties and then bigger patties for like the adults, and then as soon as I put it off to the table, like the bigger patties went to the littler kids, and then the smaller patties ended up going to the adults. So it was kind of just, next time I'm just going to balance it out a little bit easier. But I felt like I really could have probably used 1 extra package of the ground meat, because if I was going to do the biggest patty on this then I would need to have more ground meat. I was starting to get a little low and I was kind of concerned a little bit. So I started making the other ones a little bit smaller. Here we are, we're flipping the burgers. We're getting ready to make our sauce on the top. I'll call it an aioli sauce, an aioli sauce. Even though it's really, I don't know if that's what you would call it or not, but here we go. We're using that vegan mayonnaise. Like I said, I really try to limit as much meat products. So if I'm using a main meat product, I try to limit as much as I can on adding any other types of meat to our dish, if at all possible. So there's our basil. So if anything is really calling for like a meat stock, I'll use a vegetable stock instead. There's the jalapeno. That will go to the husband. And then we're pouring in the remainder of our herbs. Oh, we're pouring in the remainder of our jalapeno. And actually, I'll have to say that I did half the jalapeno in the aioli sauce, and it really wasn't that spicy, so it actually tastes really good. The aioli sauce I really kind of was a fan of. And here we are adding, as I said before, we're going to add a little bit extra lemon, and then we're going to add extra lime as well. And I really think that helped to kind of kick up the aioli sauce a little bit. That, or you could probably even add a little bit of zest, and that's maybe probably what I'll do next time is add the zest to the aioli. I can never say that word right. Aioli sauce instead of putting the zest in the patties. Here I am, super anal about the temperature of my burgers. I just, God forbid, one day I actually poison my children. I'm sure that'll never happen because I'm always like watching the temperature, but I'm super, super, super scared that one day somebody's gonna get like salmonella poison. But then on the side note, I will just admit that Braden and I did have some raw cookie dough that was from Walmart, so I'm not dead yet, thank God. And we are taking that jalapeno. So funny enough is that my house has the worst ventilation downstairs. So anytime I cook on something like this, in my second kitchen, I have something very similar. It smokes up the house really bad. So we actually had to unplug the fire detector thing, the fire alarm downstairs, because every single time I cook, doesn't matter what it is, the alarm goes off and it sounds like we're having like a major situation. Here are the onion rolls. These onion rolls really were excellent. And then you're going to see on my plate, when we get around to the table, actually you can see it in the top left right now. That's my gluten-free hamburger bun. And I burger roll. And it's very, very puffy and it was delicious. All right, what are you guys going to do?
The jalapeno challenge.
All right, so they each have a little piece of jalapeno. Do not rub your eyes. Do not touch your nose because the oils will. You're choking on that oil in the smoking house. All right, ready?
Yep.
Set. Go.
It's already hot. Fire is hot.
Do not rub your nose or your eyes. Go wash your hands. They're doing a jalapeno challenge.
I'm gonna have another one.
Jordan, nothing?
I'm gonna have another one.
What? Get out of town. Serious?
Give me another.
Oh my gosh.
I'm still feeling a little burn in my tongue.
Oh yeah.
I want to try Carolina Reaper. Jordan, you're gonna sweat so bad. You're gonna die.